Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a Crusade update on the 7th Hydra Alpha Legion Crusade force that I've built and that I am currently working on. And we're just going to go over some of the recent games against the Imperium. First up, we did fight some games versus Dark Angels. We were able to retain control of a few outer sector frontier bases that we can then convert into secret bases, so we've had some success there. We also fought a number of Imperial Guard forces in the ruins, and in particular, there was one game that really stood out, with the Alpha Legion being able to perform a dark ritual in the center of the board and thus earn some dark glory points. We were then able to engage in some very fierce and bitter fighting against the Custodes in the effort to gain some intelligence. Both the Custodes and the 7th Hydra were after the same sources of intelligence. We were able to gain some of it, but not the complete picture, and the fighting was particularly bitter, and mass casualties came about on the 7th Hydra side, and we were forced to withdraw. However, before we withdrew, we were able to kill one of the characters leading the Custodes force, and so even though the Alpha Legion technically lost, we were able to withdraw with some of the data that we needed, and as well as inflicting a grievous injury onto one of the leaders of the Custodes strike force that had been sent to hunt us down. And so with our secure secret bases in the frontier worlds, on the fringes, and a number of victories and intelligence on our side, we then began to upgrade our army and add to it in order to continue our further crusades. And what follows is the upgrades and the new units added to the Crusade force. The first new addition to the 7th Hydra Alpha Legion Crusade list would be the Hellbrute Praxis with Twin Link Las Cannon and Combi Bolter on Power Fist. We then added a Defiler with autocannons and Lasher Tendrils. This will kind of beef up our heavy support. I know we have quite a bit of heavy support, but this is kind of a good mix for them to add to the both close combat capability and long range. So I think it fulfills a neat little, in-between measure. Same with the Hellbrute. And finally, we added another HQ choice, Skyvar the Sorcerer. We gave him Smite, Infernal Gaze, and Prescience as his psychic powers. We also spent a requisition point to give him a Warlord trait, and we gave him an Alpha Legion Warlord trait of Covert Control. Units, I can select one friendly unit within 6 inches of him, and that unit can shoot while performing an action without that action failing, and that unit has the objective secured ability. If a model in that unit already has the ability, it counts as one additional model when determining control of an objective marker. And for a bit of a backstory on him, Skyvar, the Sorcerer, spent time away from the Legion and had actually fallen in with a group of the Fallen, one of whom actually had been a member of the Host of the Pentacles, the First Legion pre-Crusade or very early Crusade attempt at an all-psychic force or company, and that was disbanded. So he was there learning some of their secrets, and he knows the names of certain Fallen members, which will come in handy when I'm playing my local Dark Angel players, as it will help build a good narrative for us to fight over. And so far in our crusade, Lord Mogwar has managed to gain another battle trait. He actually gained tactical experience, allowing him to gain additional command points or regain command points. That shows him more to be a tactical commander rather than a brute unit, although he is perfectly capable of being a brute unit with the Shadow Sword in his hands. But primarily he's focused on tactical control over the entirety of the 7th Hydra. Then we have Draven the Despoiler. He was able to level up and gain Divine Guidance from the Wars of Faith mission Crusade pack on the priestly battle traits. It allows him, whenever he is casting about a prayer, on a 6-up, he gains a command point for the battle force. So that kind of shows more the Alpha Legion way of using faith to enhance their tactical ability rather than as just bloody zealots. Even though Draven the Despoiler is a bit of a zealot on his own, it's used to a tactical purpose, unlike the Word Bearers. The Hydra Havoc Squad also was able to level up. They took the Bitter to the Bone upgrade, so they can now choose which version of Let the Galaxy Burn, wanton waste, wanton destruction, wanton slaughter that they're in. So that's going to enable them to pretty much stay in the mode where heavy weapon hits on a 6 cause an additional hit. So exploding 6s with their heavy weapons. And they did particularly well versus Guardsmen, where they had called the hordes, and the missile launchers in particular were being used on Guardsman units to great effect, while the last cannons were pegging away at tanks. Squad Salonius, on the other hand, when they level up, they ended up going with Veteran Insurgents, which will allow them to advance and still perform an action, as well as shooting while performing an action, which will come really, really handy with their style of play as they go out and complete objectives, but still lay down a hail of firepower. And that is it for upgrades. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe down below. Thank you very much.